Today I'm going to tell you a story about, or read you a story about trees for Kenya, but there are a couple of things you need to know first. The first thing is the main character in this story, the girl is named Wangari Maathai. So that's a name from Kenya of a girl. Kenya is a country, let's see, if you could look at this map, we live in, maybe you've studied the continents and oceans. We live in North America. It's kind of hard for me to see North America. And Wangari Maathai lived in Africa, across the Atlantic Ocean in the continent of Africa, the country of Kenya. I hope you can see that map. Another word you should know about, another thing you should know about is firewood. We usually talk about firewood like when we go camping, we have a campfire and we sit around and roast marshmallows. But where people don't have stoves and electricity hookups in their houses or gas hookups, they cook over wood. So they need the wood to cook their food. It's not just something for a fun afternoon or evening when you're camping. Seedlings, you know what a seed is. It grows into a plant. Well, when the seed sprouts and gets a little root and then a stem on the top, that's a seedling. So a seedling is basically a baby plant. So that's a word you should know. And soil is another word for dirt. So we grow seeds in the dirt. Okay, this story is called Trees for Kenya. When Wangari Maathai was a little girl growing up in Kenya, in Africa, the land was green. The streams were full of water and the trees grew thick and lush. To help her family cook meals, Wangari gathered firewood from the trees around her village. On her first day gathering wood, her mother told her, "Don't collect any firewood from the fig tree." Wangari asked, "Why not?" Her mother answered, "That is a tree of God. We don't cut it. We don't burn it. We don't use it at all." And so Wangari was careful, along with the rest of the people, to let the fig trees live a good long time. She didn't know it then, but the roots of the strong tree helped water come to the surface from deep below the earth. Until they fell to the ground naturally of old age, the fig trees helped the Kenyan soil stay rich and alive so it could help grow the plants the people needed to eat and to feed to their animals. Wangari worked hard in school and did very well. When she was older, she went to America to study biology in college. Biology classes are about the study of life, like plants and animals. After being in the United States for 6 years, she went back to Kenya. But Kenya had changed. Many trees had been cut down to make way for new buildings and large coffee and tea plantations. A plantation is like a big farm. So they cut down the trees to grow lots and lots of tea plants or lots and lots of coffee plants. But they'd cut down the trees in the forest. In some places, the land was bare. There were no trees and plants to hold moisture in the soil. The streams or the rivers had dried up. Even the fig trees had been cut, and no one had thought to put in new trees. Kenya was becoming a desert. A desert is a place where there are very few plants and it's very dry. You can't grow things there. That was hard for the birds and the insects and many other animals. There was nothing for them to eat. It was also hard for the people. Soon, Wangari was hearing from the women of Kenya that many people did not have enough to eat. Clean water was hard to find because the streams had dried up. And firewood was also hard to find because the trees were gone. Women had to walk long distances to find wood to burn and water, and then haul it back to their homes. And if you've ever taken a bucket and filled it with water and tried to carry it, you know that water is very, very heavy. So if you had to walk maybe an hour to find some water and then carry it all the way home, that would be very difficult. Wangari listened to the women who spoke to her, and she began to get an idea. Wangari's idea to help everything was to plant trees. She planted small seedling trees, little baby trees in her own backyard, right in the city. And when she saw them grow strong and green, she taught the women in her village. A village is like a little town away from the city. She taught those women to plant trees, and she gave them little seedlings or baby trees to plant. When other women saw the village turn green again, they wanted to plant trees too. Soon Wangari started a nursery. A nursery, sometimes you think of a nursery for children, but they are nurseries for plants too. It's a place where you grow baby plants, and then people can come and get those plants and take them home and plant them and let them grow big. So Wangari started this nursery, and she gave tree seedlings, little baby trees, to women all over Kenya. She paid them money for each tree planted and kept alive, which helped those ladies buy food. Some people laughed and said that women could not plant trees, but more and more women did plant trees. And dried brown land in Kenya turned soft and green again. But other people were still cutting trees. Wangari tried to protect the trees and told the tree cutters to stop. So she led protests to try to get people to stop cutting trees. She did not believe so much building was needed. But powerful people disagreed. They wanted more city and more building. But Wangari protested, led protests, and she was arrested and went to jail for what she believed. Others continued to plant trees, though, and protect the trees that were still alive. Eventually, Wangari was released from jail. As more trees were planted, the desert was pushed away and the land came back to life. Streams flowed with water once more. The soil became rich and healthy again. More and more people helped plant trees. By 2004, when Wangari won the Nobel Peace Prize, more than 30 million trees had been planted. Kenya was green again.